right now.
So I laid down some drum tracks and then boom.
On the cusp of a Grammy Award. At only 14 years old, a peek inside Recker's catapulting rock star life that started when he was only 5. Plus,
in a full-blown relationship. He's not human, he's AI.
in the chat, we're talking bot boyfriends. Are they the loves of our future? And then, the world's most famous dancing weatherman reveals the early days of internet fame.
What's the catch? And they go, the catch is...
All that and so much more starts right now on this episode of Arizona's Family Original with me, Yetta Gibson.
I'm gonna cut a hole in the wall, and then I'm gonna get a glass container from the Grammy and then put it in the wall. So then it's like when you walk in, you're gonna see it.
So you're gonna cut a hole in the house?
Yeah.
For your Grammy?
Myself.
Oh.
No. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, big plans for an honor your typical teenager just doesn't experience. Grammy-nominated drummer Recker Eans is setting his sights high. He wants to be among greats like Quincy Jones, Barbra Streisand, John Legend. They're all EGOT winners. Each of them have an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award. Recker has already gotten 2 of those 4 nominations, and as I learned, Recker is living a rock star life without forgetting where he's from.
So has anybody ever told you you are giving Bieber vibes?
I've heard that.
How do you feel about that?
I hear it probably like 20 times a day. I go to school and I hear it a lot.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing for you?
It used to be a bad thing, but now I'm like, okay, he's a superstar.
Bieber's a man.
And so is Recker, the man, at only 14. 14 and has already performed in front of massive crowds. 14 years old and has already been booked on a national TV show. 14 and his talents have already earned him an Emmy nomination and possibly a Grammy. But first, let me tell you about this kid whose love of drums started when he was little.
Yeah, I was 5 years old. I asked for a drum set. And then I started playing, and I've always had rhythm. I mean, when I was in my mom's belly, she would play Bob Marley and Breaking Benjamins. Never stopped playing. I found this place, and I started taking lessons, found more instruments, guitar, bass. And then I recently started singing, started dancing. So rhythm and music and just sounds have been always just a part of my life.
Did you know when you were like, okay, I think I'm really good at this, more than the average drummer?
The minute I started taking lessons, the minute I hopped in that room and I started learning and taking instructions, he would play it and then I would play it back.
Those lessons led to big things.
How did this even start? Were you born with it in you, like a lot of music kids were?
I mean, so it just kind of clicked in my mind. I'm like, I think I can do this. And it just was always been a dream.
And this dream is true. It's a reality now. I've seen in some of the videos, you're standing in front of packed venues. Tell me about your nerves when that is happening. Do you have them, or does it feel natural?
So the first big crowd I played for was 20,000 people back to the beach. It was this big festival, and I was playing with Street Drum Corps. They play on like trash cans and just like this crazy show. A year before, I told my dad, I was on his shoulders, we were at another festival, and I was like, I'm gonna play one of these stages one day, and it's gonna be raining. He was like, okay. I mean,
what was that about? It's gonna be raining? Why did you say that?
I don't even know. It was just like, it's always been a dream, I guess.
Right, to play in the rain.
To play in the rain, packed out crowd. So then we get to that moment, and right before we go on, just starts raining, pouring. Just absolutely pouring. And then I look at my mom and I'm like crying. And then I'm like, all right, here we go. And then I run out on stage, and it's just this little boy just having a dream and pursuing it.
Find Recker on social media, and aside from seeing this pinned post announcing his first Grammy nomination, you'll see his bio listing his artistry in drumming and his Emmy-nominated acting skills. Yes, Recker is an actor too. His drumming that he posts a lot on Instagram caught the attention of a very popular late-night show.
I did this show called the kids version of The Tonight Show. So it was the Tonight Show kids version.
Oh, okay.
So I worked with Jimmy, Fallon. He flew me out to New York for 2 months. We did 20 episodes. Me and my family were living in this little condo, and we were just shooting the show, and it got nominated for an Emmy, just boom.
Were you the host?
Yes, so I was the co-host, and then I was like the Questlove of it. So I was drumming and then co-hosting. Questlove gave me some pretty good advice of like putting yourself in a room and there's absolute silence, nothing around, is when your creative thoughts come.
Ooh.
That's when you start becoming creative, and like that's when the ideas start just coming out.
And to this day, that is one of Recker's drumming rituals. Now, about that Grammy nomination, as fate would have it, Recker decided to drum on a musical project for charity.
I started coming here, solid rock, and I took a couple engineering classes with Diego. He's one of the producers on the album. And then they had this competition, Christmas Proof is in the Pudding. It's like a contest of all these different artists, amazing artists come in and just compete for like a grand prize. I made it to the final round. I didn't win. And then they looked at me and they were like, that kid's good, we should put him on the album. So I laid down some drum tracks, did a couple of songs, and then they put it to the Grammys, and then boom.
And boom, here you are.
Yeah, I didn't even expect that to happen. I just did it because I was like, it's for charity. I love the drum.
Recker's Grammy nomination is alongside the great Alice Cooper, a multiple Grammy nominee, and a Grammy this year could be Alice's first win for Best Children's Music Album. The songs were recorded at Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers, where Recker trained with other young artists who took advantage of Cooper's acclaimed music programs. Cooper is quoted in this Arizona Central article saying, "Would it not be the craziest thing to get a Grammy for children's music? Sometimes the things you do for the fun of it turns out really, really good." And yes, for Recker, this would be really, really good. Actually, great.
A lot of drummers are technical, and then there's other drummers that are just groovy. Yeah. I feel like I'm in that groovy category.
Okay, groovy. Recker says he's getting more acting gigs and is writing songs now.
So you said you can dance. You said you can dance.
I can dance.
Like what? Like dance or TikTok dance?
No, I can dance. I'm taking classes. I've been only dancing for like 5 months.
Okay. What kind of dancing?
Like hip hop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey. Okay.
I gotta say, like my parents, just being there for me in the hard times and the good times. They could celebrate with me, they can cry with me. My mom never leaves my side on set or in a studio. Like she is always there, and so just the support system. I mean, I just gotta thank them.
As for his parents, they have their jobs, but their other one is on the road with their son, whose success is building steadily, it seems, by the day.
I want you to answer this question.
Okay.
In 2025, Recker, I will be, just fill in the blank. This year, in 2025, I will be
Grammy winner.
You promise?
I mean, I'm going up against John Legend. I don't know if I could promise it, but yes.
Let's start over. You promise?
I promise.
All right. Deal. You know, when stuff this big happens in people's lives, they often have dreams. I know I do. You have dreams about it. Have you had a dream about the moment yet?
I've been dreaming about it for
You
sure.
have?
Yeah, I've been walking up on that stage, saying my speech, but in my dreams it's just gibberish. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Wow, 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 wow. When you get your Grammy, can I hold it?
Of course.
I am going to be able to catch up with you.
Yes.
And you're going to let me hold the Grammy?
Yes.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay, sorry, I had to
promise.
get that out of the way. Your advice to kids who are like, I want to be just like him.
My advice is never give up. And it's super cliche, a bunch of people say it, but truly, like, you gotta just stick with it. And I don't care what it is, because you'll feel it when you find something you're passionate about it. I feel it in my heart. It's like something is happening. Mm-hmm. And so you'll feel it and just keep going for it. The universe works in a special way that will rotate you to the top. I'll go to shows sometimes and people are like, hey, so if the music thing doesn't work out, like, what are your plans? I'm like,
This is the plan.
This is the plan, dude. Like,
Right.
I'm doing this till I die.
Yeah.
Like,
So there's no alternative. This is it.
yeah, this is it. Music
Right.
and
And
acting.
you just
is
know it. You just know it.
I feel it. Like I said, passionate. Like it's right here and here. and in my head and my dome and my brain.
So you're a star. I mean, this is a wrap. I mean, gosh.
Thank you.
Recker mentioned to me his dream collaboration, Taylor Swift. He told me he would love to sit down with her in a session to co-write. So Recker, we hope you meet her at the Grammys this weekend. Good luck. Music's biggest night is on Arizona's Family. You can watch the Grammy Awards this Sunday live on CBS.
Up next.
She does everything you do in a relationship. That too. No judgment. Do you know anyone who's in a relationship with ChatGPT?
Forget swiping for love. In the chat, your thoughts on crafting the perfect partner you'll never meet.
And my one-on-one with the dancing weatherman.
I've never taken a dance class, and I try to mimic what the cool kids are doing on set. It takes me forever.
In this week's Not Done Yetta, the simple work assignment skyrocketing him to online celebrity. That's all coming up when this Arizona's Family original with me, Yetta Gibson, returns.
It is time now for In the Chat, and in this portion of the show, we dive into a hot headline, and this week, we're talking about a love that you can't see, you can't feel, you can't meet. That's right, people are falling in love with AI, and this hot headline comes from the New York Times this week that featured the story of a woman who was in a full-blown relationship with AI. So I brought the topic to you online.
So I came across this article. It's about this woman in a full-blown relationship. He's not human, he's AI, like ChatGPT. She talks to him, she gets advice from him. She does everything you do in a relationship. That too. No judgment. Do you know anyone who's in a relationship with ChatGPT? Would you do it? Nowadays, is it an anything goes type of attitude when it comes to companionship? I want to hear what you think.
So we got a lot of responses to this one. Check this out. One person said yes, they would consider an AI relationship. Another said no, and I would not, but everyone's needs are different. Meantime, a lot of you said it would be a pretty hard no for you. One person said, hey, I'm old school. I like a real conversation with a real person. So I brought in some experts because this one's a big one. Joining me for the chat on human connection is marriage and family therapist Pierre Araman and Christina Hathaway. Thank you so much for being here. This topic is very interesting.
It is.
But it's not outlandish.
No.
Tell me why.
Well, if we think about, the 1-900 numbers from back in the day, there was someone on the other line telling us what we wanted to hear.
Right.
Then that evolved into AOL chat. That has evolved into social media and these webcams. So it's not surprising to me that this is where this is going in regards to trying to connect to humans in a way that feels more safe for people, but in all reality, it's creating more distance between the one-to-one human interaction.
Pierre, explain the safety of this and why do people feel safe doing this?
So if you think about safety, humans are unpredictable, right? So then if I were to talk to a machine with certain parameters that I chose, then I get to decide how much pain I experience, how much joy I experience, and I get to essentially cater to my feelings. Whereas in a relationship with an actual human being, you never know what can happen. So this is to say that with AI, there's a lot of safety, comfort, also intimacy for some, and immediacy.
Yeah, we talk about safety, we talk about the natural evolution of kind of hearing what you want to hear.
Right.
Is it healthy?
There are aspects of it that can be practiced, right? And the way I explain anything in this world is everything should be done in moderation.
Okay.
So if anything that we're doing is causing us to obsess about it or be more distant from our relationships, or it's causing us harm, then that's when anything becomes unhealthy. In this case, the majority of people turning to AI and designing it to be this social being, they're
the perfect
doing it,
social being.
correct,
Almost.
exactly, perfect social being. They're doing it because they lack that in their lives. So we're not practicing empathy, we're not practicing compassion, communication skills, conflict resolution. So we're actually moving further away from the thing that we're desiring, the thing that we're trying to receive.
Because it's not realistic.
Exactly.
So tell me the healthy part and tell me what people should and maybe should not be doing. Not that we can tell them that, but what's that line that we should be straddling here?
I would say, thinking about how much time and energy you're spending on this, right? I use ChatGPT. We were talking and I said, you know, I say please and thank you when I'm asking for something, right? Is that an unhealthy relationship? No, it's a working relationship that helps me in my career.
Gotcha.
If I am spending a majority of my time, my energy, I'm obsessed with it, and not being around it is causing me anxiety, that is where it becomes unhealthy.
And Pierre, we talk, you know, you guys specialize in relationships, and we all know it's wild and crazy out here in the real streets. So, so for people who are trying to find a connection, and this is what they've resorted to, what's the advice?
So the advice is to be able to differentiate between reality and between fantasy. Knowing that you can, of course, build a relationship with ChatGPT or with AI, but at the same time, it's not the same as building a relationship with a human being. But there is a difference between the two, right? And so you can, again, practice, but again, you should also practice with real people, with human beings, because your feelings are going to get hurt, things are going to happen, and you have to learn from those experiences. Have
you had clients who have been dealing with this or no? I know you can't talk but about specifics, but have you? Is this common?
I have not seen this directly, but you see aspects of this where they turn to external means to fill that sense of security in their lives, and that becomes something that they obsess about, that they are addicted, if you will, to, and they have a hard time moving away from it.
What I've been seeing is, especially with video games, now ChatGPT and AI is being implemented into video games, so people that were already having issues with, you know, spending a tremendous amount of time playing, now they play it even more. So that's something to consider as well.
So in many ways, you're engaging with this, and it doesn't seem strange or anything like that to most people. Times have changed.
They have?
Yes, they have. Christina, thank you so much. Pierre, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I thought for sure I was getting roasted by the entire internet. Because I'm a middle-aged guy in a suit dancing, but people liked it.
Liked it is an understatement, trust me. Coming up, the internet's dancing weatherman opens up about his unlikely start, struggles, and famous collaborators. A weatherman making it rain, get it, with his dance moves. In tonight's Not Done Yetta, we go behind the camera with the internet's favorite dancing weatherman. His name is Nick Kosir. Check it out.
In a world ruled by TikTok trends and perfectly curated Instagram feeds, sometimes a little rhythm and good timing make all the difference.
I still pinch myself. I think, you know, every morning I'm just like so happy to still be going.
That's exactly how Nick Kosir, better known as the Dancing Weatherman, went viral. What started as a simple work assignment ended up being a life changer.
They said, look, we need you guys to build a little more of a social media presence online. We were like, easy, we got it. Thinking, not knowing what the next thing that was going to happen was.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, and we all go, oh, this sounds great.
Yes.
What's the catch? And they go, the catch is you have to post 12 times a day.
Oh my goodness.
With time ticking, Nick understood the assignment, but it wasn't what he forecasted at all.
The day that things changed for me was I had already posted 11 times that day, and I just needed one more post so I could be done with it and go home. I see this video of these guys dancing. I think I filmed it 2 different versions. I posted my favorite, went home, took a nap, and after that nap,
shut up.
After that nap, nothing has been the same. It's been weird. My phone was dinging, and I thought for sure I was getting roasted by the entire internet. Because I'm a middle-aged guy in a suit dancing, but people liked it.
And every time you posted, it got better and bigger and bigger.
And so after the initial shock wore off, I go, oh, crap, I gotta learn how to dance now.
One post turned into several, and soon Nick's catchy routine started getting lots of attention. His following skyrocketing to nearly 400,000 a month, and those numbers are still growing. 9 million on TikTok, 2.5 million on Insta.
So you took classes, and that's how you know what you're doing?
No, I've never taken a dance class.
Them. So you're just learning them, you're watching them for a few times like we do on TikTok, and then you just learn them.
That's right. So I just watch what the kids are doing, and I try to mimic what the cool kids are doing on TikTok. It takes me forever.
A move from North Carolina to join the Fox Weather Channel in 2021 propelled Nick to another level, expanding the weatherman's dance floor to include some very recognizable locations.
Tell me about the Times Square thing.
The very first week I was here in New York for this job, I go, I gotta let folks know I've moved. And so I go,
yeah.
where's the best place to do that? And of course, it's Times Square.
Gotcha.
So I went out there that first day with my own little plan, and then I met some other dancers. Something good typically will happen, or it'll lead to something, or a good video, or a good idea, or a good connections.
Those connections bring good energy, which has helped Nick in other parts of his life as well.
Very good energy. I read that you were how many years sober? 7 years sober. So is this what helped?
Thank you for asking, by the way. I don't talk about being sober a lot, but I love to talk about it. I feel like I look forward more to my soberversary than my actual birthday. I would say that my sober journey and my social media journey go hand in hand.
That's great.
I'm so pumped about it. I've made it this far, and it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, social media included. And I encourage anybody that's sober curious to just try it. It's like a cheat code for your life. I was able to stack just good days. I was always thinking clearly. Even if I wasn't having a great day, at least I was thinking clearly, and I wasn't doing stuff that made no sense.
Yeah.
Stacking those good days paid off. His solo performances becoming more intricate.
Yo, I just met someone. You might recognize him. Yeah, you gotta know what it is. What?
And growing to include celebrity dance partners.
What are you hoping will happen? Dancing with the Stars?
Dancing with the Stars, balls in your court now. I don't know what the goal is, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of, I just want to be able to operate my gift somehow, some way, someplace.
And I couldn't let Nick go without a quick lesson on those signature moves of his.
All right, check it out. This is my favorite dance to teach people because it's fairly easy, all right?
What song is it?
We don't even need a song. This is just a move. Okay, so it's called the Billy Bounce. So knees in, out, in, and then you flare your leg out. Have you seen people do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got it. You put your hands up, you can go like this. You can go like this.
Got it.
Yo, I mean, you don't need any lesson. You already see that.
Maybe I can start a channel now. We're going to have to stay tuned to see if Nick does get a shot at the mirror ball someday on Dancing with the Stars. We love you, Nick. Thank you for watching this episode of Arizona's Family Original. We have so many cool things coming up. You can connect with me on Instagram. You're going to get sneak peeks of what's to come. My handle is down below. We'll see you again next week.
The dancing guy. Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. You want to dance with me? Sure. I'm talking to my mom right now.
They're like all like the paint scratched off. Yeah.
Wait, I did what? I didn't even know.
It's probably so good. I'm totally kidding.